as someone who, yeah, arguably makes harmless entertainment, but it's still important to really think about representation
to make it the norm.
And that's something you do as you know, partially you just grow up. We all started up. We started off as like 15, 16-year-olds just kind of making stuff online, and then you grow up and you become more aware of these issues, and then you learn to prioritize them, at least in some sense. And that's something that, yeah, definitely. And then the other thing would be, yeah, I guess just I want to learn to manage these kind of projects better, and I think I learned a lot from Project Library, and I'm totally feeling the burn again to do it again, something like Project Library, but yeah, basically learning to organize and facilitate it better and make it happen and run more smoothly without stressing everyone, including myself, out to the point of needing 3 months to recover. I don't want to need 3 months again next time.
So in regards to future projects, yeah, one of my mottos is learn from other people's mistakes. And when these guys embarked on Project Library, I was like, this is really ambitious. And in a way, I was just like, go make some mistakes, because I don't want to do those ones. And like from like these guys doing this experience, they've come away so much stronger. And I really want to do more things kind of with this team. So I have an incredibly frail creative ego. And we were going to jump into this next project. I was like, as soon as we're done with this, we're going to jump into the project I want to direct and head up, which the working title is Project Timecode. It has nothing to do with time code or anything, but that's just a working title. And it was going to be about this psychic, this character with telekinesis that was actually originally a dude, but then we changed it to a female character just because of these exact same reasons. And so I was like, it's going to be about this girl with telekinesis, and the whole thing is going to build this bit where she like stops a car and it like flips. It's going to be awesome. And I was so pumped for it. We're like, okay, we're going to start having writing sessions. And then the poster for the film Carrie came out, which is this girl with telekinesis stopping a car and it's flipping. And I went,
Did you come up with this idea in the 80s?
Shut up.
I remember it specifically though. We were on the tube and I stopped and just looked at the poster. I went, wait, look, oh.
And it was a little heartbroken, and it was like back to the drawing board. So I'm either going to wait long enough, like at least a year, to forget that happened. But I really want to jump into something really big and head it up now. I think one of the biggest things I've learned, obviously, is money. Money is power in a project like this, and without it, like everyone, like Project Library is one of those projects you could only do once.
Yep.
Because no one's going to work with you guys again if you're like, work for free again. That was such an audible laugh about it.
I'm never working with you.
I think, well, I mean, the thing that to specify as well, though, is it's, with something like Project Library, part of the reason why the for free thing is an extra level of stress is because you're asking for free and now and quickly. We got the budget whilst we'd already been in production for 2 weeks, so, when asking for a location or asking someone to help, you're basically saying, hey, are you free tomorrow? That makes it harder. If you have time, you can get things done for free, or at least for less money, because if you're basically saying, hey, you have 2 months to finish this thing, but I don't have a lot of money to pay you, then someone goes, all right, that's fine.
And also, it's not even just money, but like Moan plays Jason, and we confirmed him the day before his first shoot. And we were like worried that we had to recast him.
Yeah, that's a funny story actually, where like on the day it went fine, but the fireworks were going off the day before, which was basically just that like Moan seemed to have a schedule that just wasn't going to work. Like he was too busy, he was doing too much other stuff, and like literally like midnight before, I was on the phone to Moan looking up other actors to replace him, and it was genuinely just the thing was like, I mean, we haven't even started shooting, and I've lost one of my main characters. Like, this is like the worst thing that could possibly happen. And then, like 1 o'clock at night, Moan calls me and says, "Look, I will push some things aside and I will make myself available."
Because he really wanted to do it, didn't he?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, passion goes a long way. If people like your idea and you're able to like convince them that it's going to be good, people like.
That's why we got Mitchell. Like Mitchell plays our Troy, and he came along. He's a great actor. Like he's so good. He's in like a lot of good stuff, and
he's in everything.
He's in like everything at the moment. But like he's like he wanted to do it because he liked the video, the ideas, and he liked the scripts. But when he saw us, he was just like, "What did he say to you?" Like,
everyone's 12.
Everyone's 12.
Like, this is like, you have to imagine Mitchell is someone who has worked. You know, he's played a character in Red 2 very briefly. So he's been on sets with bloody Bruce Willis and stuff. And then he shows up for us, and we're like, "Hey, we're gonna upload this for free on YouTube." I became American when I get dumb. But yeah, basically,
I think that says a lot.
But yeah, basically, yeah, he was surprised by the fact that we were all so young and making this project. But you know,
He had
passion
faith in us, though, and he friggin' loves the project.
and keep in mind, you know, passion is infectious. But again, that's what you have to be aware of what you're asking from people. That's like the main thing I'd stress. With, you know, if any one of you is looking to go into doing bigger projects, or you know, it's be aware of what you're asking for. Are you asking for time? Are you asking, do you need it now? There's a popular expression that I believe our sound designer once told me, which is, what is it, like, fast, cheap, good, pick two, and you lose the other.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a good thing to keep in mind, because it's true. Like, it's
Something
so
else.
true.
I think. Yes. Okay, that's fine. I think one more thing I think you should know as well is that like Project Library wouldn't have happened if Tim and I didn't spend a few years making things that weren't as big as Project Library. So don't feel like you have to jump in and make a film straight away, because it will not go well and it will never ever be as good as you think it's going to be. Bertie Gilbert is making 10-minute short films with just himself and a few people, and that's doing really well. Me and Dean made sketch comedy stuff before we ever made anything bigger. So did Tim, so did Tom, so did Ben. No, we didn't. He went straight into it and took 2 years to come up with coming YouTube. So to finish it, but yeah, like a year before, you were making it for a year before it came out.
Hello, Mike. I was working on Becoming YouTube for about 9 months before the first step went up, and so it was like it was a 2-year project. And you've got to, you know, and during that 9 months, I made lots of mistakes and learned just how to film very basic stuff.
Yes.
Like, you know, just the first little stuff that I shot was 2 characters in a room, and you're doing a shot, and then you turn the camera around and you do the other shot from the other angle, and like you've got to start with that kind of stuff. If you went in trying to do like a short film or something, then it could all go tits up.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't jump into a project the size of Project Library yet. Like, I'm still very content with making like 3-minute action sequences to learn all my mistakes. Like, because like I was because of the stupid Carrie poster, and I had to like really reevaluate, like, do I really want to do this project? And I was like, I will mess this up. I can't make an hour. I will ruin it. Like, I can't make a 3-minute film without it going wrong and needing to shoot it again. Like, so it is true. Like, it's absolutely. I've reshot like 3 of my videos in the past kind of year. Like, so I wasn't ready. So yeah, you suck. Like, accept that. This is the thing I've actually said a lot this weekend when people ask me for advice, and that is just, yeah, like Jack says, you suck, and he didn't say those exact words, but that's what he meant. I said, yeah, like yeah, you don't.
No, I stand by what you're saying.
You don't get good until you're okay, and you don't get okay until you're bad, and you don't get bad until you do anything. Like, you just make some really bad things, please.
Just don't be afraid to do it, essentially, yeah. Okay, should we have some questions?
Yeah, I think we're ready for that. We are all grown men, and this is a pretty big room, so don't be afraid to yell at us. Start over here.
Well, it's great to hear that you guys are considering possibly changing to a female at some point. I know that's been kind of an issue that's been discussed in a lot of the panels here, so it's great to hear that you guys have it on your mind, and hopefully other YouTubers follow that example. My question is, I know most of you guys come from like a professional acting or professional film school background. So when you were making this project, was it all very carefully scripted down to every word, or was any of it improv?
Most of it was scripted, right? Like I think like we changed a few things, and even when we changed some things, like Dan was like, change it back. Yeah, like so we dubbed a few things.
Part of the problem, I mean, we did find this on Project Library a little bit, that you, because we were working with Dan and Moan, who are both, like, as well as lovely guys, they're brilliant improvisers, you would kind of get on set with a scene that had, you know, because I wasn't on set often, and so you'd get the kind of scene back and there'd be all these extra lines in, some really funny lines sometimes that, like, none of us had written, they're just added in, like, half the time, and the other half of the time they're just kind of, and everyone on set had just got carried away, and what you end up doing when you're, when you're scripting, you will deliberate over every line, and sometimes every and every and when you're on set and you're caught up in the moment, all that can go out the window, and it mustn't. Like, you must always at least get one safe take where you do it as scripted, to the word.
You need to basically, yeah, respect the writing process and the profession of writing, basically, which is the fact that you have to assume that thought has gone into every line, and so as a result there is a purpose why that line is there and why it is said in that way, and sort of, I think, again, some of these things with Project Library, if we'd have had more time, you know, we would have spent even more time developing the script, but sometimes due to, you know, budget, they expect the deadline by this point, we have to lock the script, and then sometimes, like for instance Dan and Mohan, who indeed are brilliant improvisers, I think Jack and I would have been very happy to allow time, and if we'd have spread out the shoot over more time, we could have maybe allowed time to kind of let them do exactly that, but you know, you have a budget, you have a time, you have to get it done within a certain, you know.
Just like in, from the script point of view and the acting point of view, when Dan and Mohan were on set, like I'm thinking back to the scene in the pub, that scene, when Kieran and everyone was setting up, I was sitting with Dan and Mohan, and just, they were going through the script and we were trying to get the beats right and everything like that, and it came together. I really like that scene, it's one of my favourite dialogue scenes in the whole thing, because I think they are so natural, and we do stay on that wide for so long to see them just act. But at the same time as well, we were going through the script, they were also just being in character, talking to each other, and like that was like I just came over to Tim sometimes. I went, can we not just film that? Like just for some reason, just like them talking to each other sometimes was just so great, just to see how natural they were, and it made me believe that they were friends, which is why like we stay on the wide so much as well when they're talking, because it looks so natural. So it's about balancing, I think, the script and also the kind of like the realism of the characters. But like I think the main point is, yes, respect the script and understand that everything's there for a reason.
How about one of you guys down here? Yourself, yeah.
Are you happy with the results about like how people in the YouTube community saw it, and would you have expected a better response, or was it what you expected?
Pretty much what I expected. Like I feel like, yeah, but both, to be honest, pretty much in terms of both views and how well it went down. Like, you know, it's one of these things. Like, it's kind of hard to gauge because you're doing something that hasn't, you know, been done that often in the UK, especially. You know, so
I think people can be intimidated by it. I think that's the sort of, they see